what's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? It's Tyler from the eveRide channel. Welcome back. Today, I'm cruising back with some baby powder. We had a little tire change issue on the micro rally right out of the gate here on the commute, right near my home, so it's not a big deal. We would have gone back, however, the tire was not holding any air. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about this bike that I'm on. It's been a long time since I've been on an XR650R, and I forgot all about how just crazy this motorcycle is. I remember the first time I rode one, I was like, dude, this is like riding something from the Middle Ages. Not in power-wise or anything like that, just the whole thing reminds me of cranking back like a trebuchet, you know, those big catapult thingies. And dude, so everything from the gear shifting, the clutch pull, even the throttle twist just feels super mechanical. The bike feels really big. It sounds like a roaring beast. The whir of all of the gears and things going, the motor and all that is just as loud as the exhaust. This thing is just a gigantic animal. It's like a prehistoric monster. And it's just so funny because you look at the XR650R, which is one of my favorites, but even then, it's so funny because just recently I've been riding a CRF 450X, and you know, both of these bikes were Baja bred, and it's so funny to feel the difference on them. I mean, the XR650R is just this giant King Kong, you know, it's like a battle cruiser, whereas the 450X feels almost, I mean, it's so different. It's so different. It's like a fighter jet. And it's just so funny that it's almost like Honda went the complete opposite direction with the 450X versus the 650R. The weight is not an immense difference, but the 650R just feels like a complete Panzer tank. Holy cow, I guess that's a little redundant. Doesn't Panzer mean tank in German? I don't know. But anyway, just the way this thing feels is just like a lumbering, it's like an AT-AT if you're a Star Wars nerd. Anyway, yeah, that's just my thoughts on the XR650R versus the CRF 450X that replaced it. You know, which bike is better? Really, it's up to you. The 650R is just, it just feels like riding a monster. It feels like riding a giant bull, where it's almost like you're kind of along for the ride. You know, where the KLR 650 might be like a big Buick, easy riding Buick, and maybe like the DRZ might be like I don't want to say like a Honda Civic. That's a little too, I don't know. I like the DRZ more than any of them, but yeah, the DRZ is just you know, less power, but much easier to ride than the 650R, I think. Then again, it always will come down to the rider and what the rider likes and feels comfortable with. Let me just say this: if you're comparing an XR650R, thinking about, oh, maybe I should get an XR650R, maybe I should get a 450X. I can't say which bike is better because, well, I love them both. I think they're both awesome, but I can say, if you want a giant feeling bike, a bike that feels invincible and like a tank and like it's just got power to no end, then the XR650R is a good bike for that. If you want a bike that feels really quite nimble, not as nimble as smaller bikes, but quite nimble and can really just open up in the desert, well, both of those bikes are great, but anyway, guys, it is fun to be back on this bike, but I have to say, it does feel just monstrous. It feels like a trebuchet. And just like a trebuchet, you know, you kind of, oh my gosh, and the engine braking is intense, and the kickstart is intense. Whew. Makes a lot of noise, but it actually doesn't go that fast. So I think the 450X is the faster bike, at least for my riding, but yeah, anyway, that's my 2 bits. Hopefully you enjoyed the vlog. Now I can shut up and actually ride. Anyway guys, much love, eveRide out.